Hello, and welcome to Doodle Stories, where I tell you a story with a doodle. So, as you may or may not remember, I was wandering around Australia looking just to see the sights. And I remembered that somebody had mentioned something about this duck-billed platypus thingamajigger, so I figured I'd go and take a wee little look for it. But you can, I didn't really have anybody to tell me where to go to look for it, and there's something you should know about Australia, and that's basically that you never want to go out wandering around by yourself. Uh, Not because there's any dangerous people there. People there are all really very nice. The problem is not the people. That's the fact that the land itself will try and kill you. So I was walking around. I was walking this way because that's the direction I was facing. And there's actually more room for me to walk this way. But since I happened to draw myself facing that way, I decided to walk that way instead of walking this way, which would have made more sense spacing ways, but since, nothing has to make sense in this video anyway, I decided to just go ahead and go this way. And since I had a whole bunch of arrows floating around, I figured like I would be pretty safe because, nothing would try and get to me with all those arrows. But after a little bit, they kind of just, go away. Mostly because I erased them, but, hey, that's whatever. So I was walking this way, and by, the ground disappeared. And you might say to me, well, but ground doesn't just disappear. Well, in this case, you're partially correct. It didn't just disappear. I was walking along, and I came across some of the famous lightning sand. And now, it's not quicksand, because quick is very quick, but it's not lightning sand. And the thing is that the lightning sand, it's not really actually sand. I'm not actually sure what it is. It's some sort of like geological phenomenon that causes all sorts of problems. But basically what happened is that I was walking along, and instead of being on solid ground that should have continued through there, all of a sudden I was in this hole with no apparent bottom. Like I stepped on a piece of ground and I just like disappeared down below me, and I just started falling down this way. And pretty rapidly the ground had gone up above my head, and I was still falling down just like this hole that was just disappearing faster than I was falling, which is pretty dang amazing, if I do say so myself. And so I've decided to call this geological phenomenon lightning sand. Some people would call it like a super fast quick sink hole thingamajigger, but it's definitely lightning sand. That's definitely what it is. Anyway, as I was falling down this hole in the ground, evidently the ground was trying to kill me because, I was rapidly approaching terminal velocity. Now, also interesting consideration here, I have no idea how deep this hole was, but it was definitely deep enough for me to achieve terminal velocity, because there was a point in time where I stopped accelerating, which is what terminal velocity is. Anyway, and I was still falling down this hole, which means it got to be pretty dang deep. Either that, or there was some sort of weird phenomenon where like the updraft was causing me to slow down quite a bit. So maybe that's it. Maybe it was actually a really short hole with like a big fan at the bottom. I don't know, and I don't think we shall ever know, because as I was falling, suddenly the side next to me opened up with a hole just like that, and this big paw reached out and grabs around me. It was a pretty big paw, and it was just like through a hole in the wall. And so I stopped falling, just all of a sudden. And the paw was kind of white and furry, and the first thought that came to me is, it must have been a dog, because dogs have white fur, and they're not that big. So the second thought that came to me was that it might be some sort of a koala bear, because koala bears have paws and fur and are grey. So then I was thinking maybe it was well, octopus briefly crossed my mind, but octopus don't have paws. At least the octopus I'm familiar with. Even the ones that drop from trees don't seem to have paws. That'd be really odd if an octopus had paws. Anyway, I really didn't know what had grabbed me, but it was a paw and it was white and pretty big. And then I realised that I hadn't heard any sound when it moved, and made me realise that it might have been like a polar bear that was on top of a ninja, because that would make it move super silently. But I had no idea why it might be trying to like stop me from falling. But it did. And so I was just sitting there on this paw that I was starting to really think was a polar bear's paw. And it was probably on top of a ninja because it had been absolutely silent when it had grabbed me. Which is obviously the result of being on top of a ninja. And the ninja probably had a sword. Probably. I mean, I couldn't see it because, you know, it was through the cave wall. But anyway, the bear then hurled me back up out of the ground. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Shoot. Oh, crap. No. I've got to... Oh. Haha. There we go. I didn't know you could put a ruler across that. See? You live and you learn. You know, you get caught by a polar bear and you learn things about, like, rulers that just, like, sort of appear out of nowhere. Anyway, so the polar bear kind of, like, hurled me back upward. Let's draw some movement lines. And the paw disappeared down behind me. And the ground flew back up. And then there was flat ground on either side of me. And I sort of, like, clung to the side of the cliff here. And managed to pull myself out after a wee bit of struggle. And that, my friends, is how I survived falling into a pit of unknown depth and being caught by an unknown white furry paw that was probably a polar bear riding a ninja with a sword. And that, my friends, is why you never go and run around in Australia by yourself, because of the stupid lightning sand. That's definitely the reason. Thanks for watching. Take care. Be well. Subscribe. Like my channel. If you don't, you might fall into some lightning sand, but only if you're in Australia, so it's not really that much of a concern. And I will see you all on Friday. Yeah, that's the day. Friday.